Alright, we're going to do another tomato review on the broad ripple here. Now this tomato, I believe, has a little history. And this tomato was discovered growing out of a crack of a sidewalk, I believe, in either Chicago somewhere, or Illinois, or Michigan, or something like that. It was growing, and that's how it got its name. So it's basically a found tomato variety. It just didn't exist until that tomato was found in the crack of a sidewalk. And how it got there and what variety it may have been before that, nobody knows. Nobody will ever know that. It could be another variety that looks similar to this, but I have to say that I don't know of too many pimpinellifolium tomatoes that are generally yellow or orange. They're real orange now because they've been sitting out here for like 2 weeks. And I haven't had a chance to do the tomato review, so now they're all starting to ripen and rot. And that's no good because now I don't have fruit that's ready. The bird's been picking off all the tomatoes I have out there outside already, so that's not good. But there it is. That is the broad ripple yellow. I think there might be a broad ripple pink or red version out there. I'm not 100% sure, but this is the yellow golden version. And here, I'll give you a better look at the, I have to zoom all the way out so you could focus. That's the only way. The camera, something's wrong with the camera, and I don't have $5,000 to buy a new one. So, you have to work with what we got. But that's it. That's what it looks like on the inside. The bricks on this, it's reading almost 6. You could basically say 6 on the bricks. So that's kind of low for a currant tomato. It should be a little higher than that. Maybe I'm just waiting too long with these tomatoes. They're just sitting on my counter too long. You know, I probably got about 30 varieties sitting up here waiting to be reviewed, and each one of these varieties could take anywhere between 20 minutes to 45 minutes to, you know, film, do the photographs of it, process it, write the logs in, do the video on it. It takes me almost 45 minutes each one of them. You can imagine how long 30 varieties by themselves are going to take me to do. So that's why they sit here, because I just don't have the time to drop everything I'm doing and start doing these reviews. But let's do a taste test and see what it tastes like. Tangy, a little bit of sweetness. They're so small, it's hard to really grab any flavor out of it. I got to eat a whole one, guys. They're too small. I can't get the flavor. I eat that whole one. Alright, so what I'll say is it's a little bit tangier than sweet. I'd say the sweet is probably about 25 to 30 on the sweetness. Tanginess was probably around 35. It was a little on the high side. Just seems like a bunch of my tomatoes are kind of on the tangy side this year, but a little on the high side. It also had a little tardiness to it, but it's not bad. It was pretty good. I could munch them down all day long. And it's not a bad balance. It says, what can you do with them? Well, it's a currant tomato, guys. I mean, what can you do with any currant tomato? You can make sauces with them. I throw them in salads. What's good with these kind of tardy tomatoes in salads is that you throw these tardy ones in salads. You almost don't need vinegar. You put a little oil in there, you cut those up, you put them in there. It's going to provide that tanginess to that salad. It's going to give you a nice effect. You can add a little bit of vinegar, but not as much as you normally would add when it comes to these tomatoes. Now, I don't know about you, but when I eat a salad, I like to use apple cider vinegar because it, number one, regulates your blood sugar, and number two, it's a astringent, so it sterilizes your intestinal tract. So if there's anything weird going on inside your gut somewhere that probably shouldn't be going on, if you're consuming vinegar on a regular basis, it's going to it's basically going to sterilize all that, and so you don't have to worry about it. So I use a lot of vinegar in my salads. What I'm saying is you may not necessarily need to add as much vinegar when you got these really tangy tomatoes, because it's really going to add a lot of tartness to it. You know, every time you pick up a spoon or a forkful that has lettuce and a piece of that tomato in there, you're going to get a nice tang from that. But they're good eating fresh. I mean, that's how I generally eat pimpinellifolium tomatoes, or these little pimps. I generally eat those, you know, pretty much fresh. And every so often, when I really get a lot of them, and it's more than I can generally eat, I will actually just hand squeeze them all and just kind of strain off all the, you know, finger out all the skins and everything in there. Or you could put it in a blender, but I like to keep the seeds whole when I do this. because when you do this, your sauce, that bucket that fills up with the sauce from squeezing those, it's basically almost all seeds. So grinding them up in a blender is probably not a good idea. But that's the way how that comes out. And it tastes really good if you add some salt to that, man. You could eat that stuff like a soup. You just add some salt to it and just spoon it up, you know, eat the seeds and everything. But yeah, you can make a sauce with them. I've made sauces with those, and they're not bad. They're also good, if you're going to make sauce with these, they're also good to add to your regular tomato sauce. So you might have like a plum tomato or a Roma tomato. Maybe it's not really carrying a whole lot of flavor, and you want to spike that tanginess up a little bit. You throw a few handfuls of these types of pimps in your sauce. Boy, that's going to really richen up the flavor in it. Believe me, it makes your sauces taste a lot better. On any time you add any kind of pimp to any sauce, the pimp's got a very intense type of flavor that really enhances tomato sauce, in my opinion. So that's why I like to generally use them. Eat them fresh or add them tomato sauce, or just squeeze them out and then drink all the seeds. You know, you just drink it like add some salt to that and just kind of drink it like a drink, you know. But yeah, that's it. That's your broad ripple tomato. Not much else to say about it here. I'll give you a little bit better of a view on this. And now keep in mind again too, guys, that you know, I got all these images on my website, so you can pretty much see all this stuff on my website. So I struggle very hard with this camera, so I can't really get good images with it. And so for me to do it in video, it's a little harder. I can take good images, I just can't video good images. All right, so that's it. That's your broad ripple. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.